looks like first time in 10 years you haven't been in Mankato, some kind of training camp. What's the difference?
It doesn't feel like training camp. 10 years, obviously, like you said, Mankato, what a special place. They were great hosts. Guys love being there. Coaches love being there. I've heard a couple of coaches say, man, I miss Mankato. Yeah, it's definitely different, but man, I mean, when you have a world-class training facility and you have the resources that we have here to take care of our bodies, that's not a more important time than training camp to be able to take care of your body, and we have every resource.
You hear about chemistry and timing all the time, but just for you and Kirk Cousins and then a new offensive coordinator, how long is this taking you kind of to get on the same page with all three of you guys?
It's crazy. Actually, today felt pretty good. I think OTAs, we did a really good job of taking advantage of that time, and today felt like we didn't miss a beat from the last practice till now. So feeling pretty good. Obviously, a long ways to go. There's a lot of plays that wish I had back today, but that's why we're out here. That's why we're out here practicing, and that's why we don't go straight to a game.
Do you think that having training camp here in Egan is less taxing overall, just between the travel and the accommodations? Do you think it's a little easier to take care of yourself here in Egan?
Yeah, I think the biggest part is just the resources. Having the hot tubs and the cold tubs, in this world-class facility, having the trainers in a big training room that they have all their stuff here. They don't have to lug it around, and the equipment staff, things like that. I think that's like the biggest difference. Other than that, it's very similar to training camp. In Mankato, you're staying in a hotel instead of dorms. But other than that, it's very similar as far as schedule-wise and things like that. But I think the biggest thing is just the resources. Oh yeah, we'll find a way. Yeah, obviously Mankato is a special place to me and my wife and I, and we'll get back down there.
Yeah, what's it been like for you to transition into more of that veteran role?
Yeah, it's a really fun thing for me. Obviously, that's what I love to do. I love to play this game. I love to be in the classroom with my teammates. I love to help guys and try to help them share some knowledge to them. So it's a really fun role for me. Obviously, you have to earn that, and you have to earn the trust of the rookies. You have to earn the trust of the other veterans that maybe haven't been here. So I'm just trying to go out there and make plays and take care of my business so guys want to follow, want to trust me. I think that's just my personality. I like to have fun. I like to compete. And so, yeah, there's going to be a little trash talk, but it's all in good fun, and it's all because I like to compete. No, if you're around that guy for 2 days, you can't be surprised because his work ethic, his mindset, it's remarkable. I mean, even when the injury first happened, just his mindset in the locker room, around the guys, I mean, he's just an incredible person. And like I said, you just hang around him for 2 days and you see that come out. So not surprised at all, and just so excited to have him on the field here competing again because that's what he loves to do. Yeah, it's not just him though. I mean, obviously teams are going to key on him because they know what he can do from film last year. But Latavius, the other backs that are competing, we have some guys that can really make plays. I mean, Latavius did an unbelievable job last year, and we were just watching some film, kind of putting our install in of last year, and just some of those cuts and plays that Latavius made were pretty awesome, and that's why we were able to be successful. You have to have a good running game. Those guys up front obviously did a great job and are doing a great job this year, and that stuff as a receiver is exciting because you have no pass game without a run game.
You said near the end of spring drills that despite coming up the football season, you've got a lot to work on. So with that in mind, what do you work on between spring training camp?
Yeah, it's funny you say that because I was watching, like I said, we were doing some install today and watching some film from last year, and there was a few plays I'm like, man, that did not look good. Just watching myself, and so it was kind of exciting to get back here on the practice field to kind of just go out there and show what I've done this off season, and kind of it just makes me feel good that the hard work is paying off.
What'd you do in those plays that you believe were substandard?
Oh, I mean, honestly, just it's the little things, just a little sloppy in technique in the games and stuff, and a lot of times it's because you're a little tired. But I think that's why it's important to be out here and taking all those reps because you're in a game. It's inevitable that you're going to get tired. So just making sure that your technique isn't lacking when you do get tired.
What's the biggest change in going from a guy like Sam to Case to Kirk, just as far as the adjustments go on?
Well, every quarterback has things that they do well. Obviously in this league, if you're a starting quarterback in the NFL, you can make all the throws and things like that. But every one of them has the ball comes out of their hand a little differently. Whether it be a deep ball, a short ball, they all throw it a little different. So just trying to figure out what they like guys to do, and how they like routes ran in certain situations, and then just getting a good feel for where they're looking and when the ball is going to come out and things like that. So it's been great. We obviously had a good jump start when we went out to Atlanta, and then with OTAs, and then now coming back to training camp, it's been great. And you can never be done building chemistry. So each day, as a receiver, you're trying to build that trust with the quarterback to say, hey, like I'll make plays for you if you throw it my way.
Are Case and Kirk closer as far as what they like to be done as far as routes going, how they throw the ball?
Not really. No, they're a lot different. They're different in a lot of different ways. I'd say one thing that is similar is their personality. They're both likable guys that come to grind every single day, and they love the game of football. They love the locker room too. So they're both easy to be around. So that's something that's similar, but the way that they play the game is different.
Yeah, Randy getting inducted to the Hall of Fame this week. Just what sticks out, or what do you remember about what it was like to watch him as a kid, and kind of the impression that he left on you as a fan of the game?
Yeah, for sure. Well, number one, Randy is the guy. The reason between Randy, Chris Carter, Jake Reed, those are the guys that made me want to play football. Number one, and they're also the guys that made me want to play receiver. So it's obviously, it's been special in the last few years, meeting those guys, talking to them, trying to pick their brains a little bit, and obviously super excited that he got inducted because he's extremely deserving of it. So obviously it's fun to look back at his career and watch some of his old film. I love when that stuff pops up and on Instagram or whatever, and be able to watch some of those old Randy plays that, like I said, made me want to play this game.
You play the same position, but the way that he plays it, how do you look at that and say, I'd like to be able to do some of those things?
I try to emulate it as much as I can, but honestly, it's when you're watching the film and stuff, you're like, oh, I want to do that. But when you get out to the game field, you're just trying to be you, and you take certain things he did. The one time we talked last year, there was a few things that he kind of told me that I'm going to use in my game, and I tried to use last year, and things that I already kind of thought about, but maybe didn't use. So it's obviously great to get a guy that has had success and kind of pick his brain. I haven't, no. No, I'm waiting to see him. Yeah.
Adam, the defensive backs added another first round pick this year. How is the pedigree of the secondary sharpening?
Yeah, what a great group. It's such a it's a great thing for the receivers and I to be able to go against that group every single day. Even the young guys. It goes beyond Mike too. There's some other guys that are young that are phenomenal football players, and it only can help us as receivers. I'm really excited to come to practice every day because it's not just Xavier. Obviously he's great, but there's a lot more guys and they have a lot of depth in that position, and it's exciting for us because we get to go compete every single day.
With Mike, what stands out when you're going against challenges?
He's a smart guy. He's a great locker room guy, and he plays the game the right way. He's instinctive. He's quick, and seems like every time I've gone against him, he's there to make the play. So it's there's not a whole lot of separation when you're going against him, which is pretty impressive when you're a guy that's just entering the league and has no experience in the NFL. So I'm excited about his future and how he can help this team. Yeah, it's great. I think for me, it's like I'm just trying to make sure that I'm making those plays to show him that to give him some confidence throwing it my way. I think Diggs and I talk about that a lot, trying to make those plays so we get more of those opportunities. And that's why that's one thing that's really cool about building that connection with the quarterback is it doesn't just come. It doesn't just happen with time. it happens with making plays, and so that gives you another added incentive to go out there and try to grind and try to compete and do your best, so you can get more of those opportunities in games.
The defense has had a lot of continuity with been a number of offensive coordinators. How does your approach change given that you have to reinstall some new offense?
Yeah, it's exciting for me, honestly. It keeps football fresh. Obviously, I love this game, but it's exciting to learn new plays, and we're doing a lot of different, schematically things. Schematically, we're doing a lot of different things than I've done in the past, and it's exciting. It's another challenge to try to master those things and try to figure out what Coach Flip likes in a receiver, and trying to do those things. So it's a challenge, but it's as a receiver, as a competitor, that's what you want.
Couple more for Adam.
Are there any specific concepts that Flip has really been emphasizing thus far in camp?
Well, we're only in the first install, so it's like, there's a few different. Yeah, it's just the basics right now, but. I think those are the things you find out as we go. Right now we're just installing the offense. The OTAs, it was a installation process that you had to go through, and it's really hard to get a good feel for what he's going to do in game. So I'm excited to get obviously keep continuing in these practices, taking advantage of the situations that Coach does through the practices, and then obviously getting to the preseason to try to get a better feel of how he's going to call a game, how Kirk's going to call a game as well. And that's something that's another exciting step for us.
How do you kind of build upon going to the NFC Championship game? Some people might say, last year, forget about it. But don't you want to take the things that you learned and how you got that far and help you?
Yeah, I think you keep those things in the back of your head. But other than that, you come out here and you just try to grind and try to do the things that helped you get to where you got last year. I think there's a lot of things that we know that we did in practices, we did in training camp, we did in OTAs, that helped us get to where we got to. So I think it's trying to just try to restart that process, making sure that we know that we're not just going to get handed 13 wins. 13 wins in the NFL is extremely difficult. It doesn't matter how good you are. So I think it's the little things, it's the fine details, and we're lucky to have a great coaching staff that really emphasizes those things.
Thanks, Adam.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's part of being a competitor. You love having competition. You love having people play their best against you, and that's what we're gonna get, and that's exciting. Cool. Thanks, guys.